What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and thank y'all for tuning in. As always, really appreciate each and every one of you. It's your boy Matty B, and for today's video, we're going to do a little early silly season video, talk about all the rumors and stuff that's been going around the pits and online right now, because the 2027 silly season got turned upside down real early with the announcement of Rockstar Husky no longer going racing after this year. But we've already heard talks of some big possible moves like Cooper Webb going to a private team. There's the Kawasaki Chase Sexton split rumors that have been going on for a few weeks. KTM and Star Yamaha have more potential riders than they can even count, including a possible female to Star Yamaha. We got a split between Chad Reed and Clubmx, some MXGP riders that are coming to America for next year or maybe even this year. Riders that could be ready to retire, and so many other possibilities and rumors. We're going to get into all that and more, but before we do that, got to give a huge thank you and a shout out to my channel sponsors. Not only do they help me keep things going, but they're also offering some discounts on some great products, so if you like saving money and supporting your boy, then please do me a favor and go check them out. These videos would not be possible without ASV Inventions, home of the Unbreakable Lever, and the new S1 Series Single Pivot Adjustable National. Sirius Studio, they can take care of all your merch needs from hats, sweatshirts, shirts, bags, etc. And of course, the designlabco.com, they got some great designs in their lab at their co. And if you need anything graphic related, then definitely look no further than there. I've got links, discount codes, and all that fun stuff in my video description. And if you guys buy from them, a small portion of the sale goes to me to help keep the channel going. So if you guys are supporting them, you are literally supporting me. Hope you enjoy the video, and thanks again for watching. Alright, first of all, before we jump into all these, I just want to make it very clear that these are all just rumors. Almost none of it's been confirmed, and some of it is even just my speculation, so I do have a couple of my own sources, but a lot of this info has been shared by other members of the moto media. I do my best to pay attention with the crazy amounts of content out there. I kind of just thought it would be helpful to condense it all into one video, especially with some of the wild moves already being theorized this early in the year. And so far, reports are that the first dominoes to fall are going to be Cooper Webb and Justin Cooper. And the big one, the crazy one to me, is the Cooper Webb rumor of him possibly going to Team Tedder Racing for next year. We've all heard about Cooper Webb wanting to go to Supercross only. This is supposed to be his last outdoor season this year, so yeah, he's wanting to keep it indoors. I think he wants a little bit more freedom, and apparently he'd be able to get that with Team Tedder. He'd be going back to a KTM, which would be a little bit weird. I mean, he just left KTM because I didn't think he liked the bike, but they're a Monster Energy team, so I'm sure the money would be there. I mean, if he's going to go there, the money has to be there because he commands a big old stack. But he just wants to do AMA Supercross and World Supercross, and Star Yamaha's committed to the whole Super Motocross season with outdoors and all that stuff, so who knows? Maybe they can work it out and Coop could stay there, but the Webb to Tedder rumors are growing a little bit by the day, and yeah, it's pretty crazy to even hear that being a possibility, but with Coop wanting that freedom and wanting to do a bit of his own schedule, maybe we could see that happen. And then there's the other Cooper, Justin Cooper, who apparently has possible offers at pretty much almost every team with an opening. What do you guys think? Is he going to take a risk and make a move to a new team, or is he just going to stay at Star Yamaha too? This is a tough one. He's been only on Star Yamaha his whole career, and I feel like he's really built himself into having a good career and some really good riding and results at Star Yamaha, so he might have a little bit of a lower money deal if he stays at Star Yamaha, but he knows what he's getting, he knows the crew and everything like that, so that would be a little bit more familiarity for him, but we've also heard some rumors of him maybe being the main guy at Triumph. Again, I'm not really sure. It's still early, but with Cooper Webb and Justin Cooper, those two are going to have to make their decisions for everybody else to kind of get their spots and slot in line there, because if Cooper Webb and Justin Cooper, if neither of them stay on Star Yamaha, then that's two spots opened up. They will only have Hayden Deegan for next year if that happens, and they have Deegan locked up for the foreseeable future on the Star Yamaha 450, and now they have a commitment to Cole Davies as well after the 250 East title. I guess he had some contract verbiage in there that included a 450 deal if he won a 250 Supercross title, so it looks like Deegan and Davies are going to be the future of the 450 program at Star Yamaha, so whoever else slots in there, maybe it'll be a little bit more of a short-term deal. I mean, Cooper Webb's only probably going to be around for a couple more years, so who knows? There's a lot up in the air at Star Yamaha, and then we got their 250 program, and that thing is out of control. Davies is locked up right now, but other than that, they got a pick from Max Anstey, Michael Moseman, Nate Thrasher, Pierce Brown, Landon Gordon, Caden Dudney, Caden Manier, and Carson Wood. That's 9 different riders. Supposedly Moseman and Thrasher have already been told that they're out, but Thrasher was told that right before he won that Triple Crown, so maybe that changed their minds. I mean, one win, that's a lot of potential. That could keep him around for another year just based off that. Moseman's out with injury right now, so unfortunately he's not really able to prove that he deserves to stay, although I did think he had a really great Supercross season until getting hurt. Rumor has it that Mitch Payton has gone after Pierce Brown in the past for a pro circuit ride, so maybe that's an option for Pierce, but I would think he would want to stay. I mean, he won his first Supercross on the team. It's pretty much the team to be on, so who knows on that one. I think Carson Wood still has some more amateur racing to do, so I think it's going to be another year or so before we see him enter this pro conversation. But then we got Landon Gordon and Caden Dudney. I feel like they've got to have spots, especially with all the potential from Dudney, and Gordon already getting a Supercross podium, getting second place in his second ever race, so I think they'd be good. And even Cade Manier, he just got a top 5 in his first ever Supercross, so I would think the rookies are going to be safe. In regards to Thrasher, he's been rumored to possibly be heading to Triumph as of a few weeks ago, but I feel like those rumors have kind of quieted down. Haven't really heard much else about that one. And I'm really not sure about Max Anstey at all. I haven't heard anything besides very long podium interviews this year. I even heard somebody throw out that Lala Turner is set to maybe join Star Yamaha for the WMX series and whatever the hell else she decides to race. And she's taking it next level. I've heard reports of insane speed from her at Clubmx. There's been days where she's been faster than Phil Nicoletti. There's been days where she's just been the fastest rider at Clubmx in general. So stay tuned to all these Star Yamaha moves and Lala Turner in general, because she's going beast mode at the National. Next up, we got the KTM debacle, and they were already set to have a ton of riders, but now with Rockstar Husky shutting down, that problem's just going to get even worse for next year. As of now, they have Tomac, Prado, AP, 2 Jews, and then there's reports of Dax Bennick and Ryder D jumping over there for the 250 program next year. Unfortunately, that leaves Malcolm Stewart, RJ Hampshire, and Casey Cochran all hung out to dry and without a ride, and it's still a little bit too early to have really heard anything about where they could land. I feel like Triumph could have some openings, but I don't really know that for sure. And I almost forgot about the Coonan twins. They're possibly coming over from the MXGP series next year, so that's 2 more spots on a team that doesn't really seem like they have any more spots to spare. The Coonans could come in 2027 or 2028. Supposedly it's their choice. Prado has reportedly signed an extension already for the next 2 years. Tomac's supposed to be testing the new 2027.5 factory edition after Salt Lake to help make a decision on whether he wants to continue racing or not. Haven't heard anything about the Cowboy AP, and I really hope he's not one of the casualties of this growing program, but I'd have to think he'd be one of the ones on the chopping block due to all the other deals in place. He's a fan favorite and a legend, so I'm sure he could find a landing spot, and I'm sure KTM wants to keep him. I mean, they love him. Who doesn't? But they might be biting off more than they can chew at the National on this one. I'm not quite sure on 2 Jews, Juju Beaumare's status. I would think this outdoor season's going to be pretty big for him, but he's shown a lot of potential. He's a race winner, and shoot, they could be rolling into next season with Tomac, Prado, the Coonans, Juju, Bennick, and Ryder D all on the same team. With no more Rockstar Husky, there are going to be some B-level teams that get some more support, like AEO Power Sports, so maybe that'll be a landing spot for some of the guys that lost their Rockstar Husky deals, but with all due respect to AEO, it would be a bit of a step down for all those guys, and I'm sure they'd be a little bit bummed to end up on a non-factory effort, but there's a lot of good guys, and Rockstar Husky's departure just made all those rides even more lucrative. Then there's the elephant in the room, Chase Sexton and Kawasaki and the separation rumors. As of now, they're only rumors, but we've heard these kind of rumors from several industry sources. Part of me thinks there's just no way this is going to happen to Kawasaki 2 years in a row, but the rest of me is kind of thinking where there's smoke, there could be fire. It's not the year that any of them have been looking for. It's pretty much been a disaster, constant testing and constant searching. They've even got Twisted Development in the mix now, got him a start map, but still had horrible starts in Denver like he's had all year. And the worst part is supposedly the bike is better in Supercross and outdoors, so that is very worrying for the summer. If this summer goes anything like Supercross has, do we really see him sticking around and salvaging this thing, or does he just hit the highway? And if he does leave, where can he go? I feel like Triumph and Ducati are definitely going to be searching for a big name guy soon, but they're also very unproven, so it would be a big risk for a guy like Chase to go over there. Maybe he could head to Star Yamaha and be their 12th guy, especially if Cooper Webb leaves, and that could be his spot. And even if he does leave, can he find a bike he's going to be happy on? It seemed like the same old story pretty much at Honda, KTM, and now Cowie, even though Cowie has definitely been the worst other than the other two, but he's just always searching for something. Rumors of landing spots have been a whole lot quieter than rumors of the actual split, but it's definitely a wild situation that I didn't see coming. We even had an instance in the press conference last weekend where Dan Fahey was asked if he could confirm or deny whether Chase Sexton was racing outdoors for Kawasaki. Fahey said no, and that brought up a lot of speculation, but it was later confirmed that he just meant no, he wasn't going to dignify that question with a response, so bit of a bold strategy there, but he did say that Sexton and Marchbanks are supposed to be on the gate at Paula. And speaking of Marchbanks, reports are that he and Kawasaki are getting along really, really well, and he's either already re-signed or he's about to, so that's great news for Garrett. He has had a rough start to the 450 career, but still, I got a lot of belief in his ability, and I do think he's going to grow into being a badass 450 rider without a choice. Then we got a team that's not going to have any silly season movement, and that's Clubmx Yamaha. They've already got 5 riders locked in for next year with Voland, Schock, Yoder, Simonson, and Malinowski. They still have Justin Turner racing SMX next in the amateurs, and I think they're considering adding one more guy to go alongside him. But the one switch that is coming out of Clubmx this year is that they parted ways with Chad Reed, who had joined on to be their performance manager or something like that, director of performance, I think. But he was pretty much running the day-to-day operations of the Clubmx Supercross program, and he was going to the races to help there as well. He had really taken charge, and I'm not sure if things quite went exactly how everybody was hoping for with the Chad Reed Clubmx Yamaha partnership, but they did have a very civil split from what I've been told. I've seen some rumors out there that this is just until Supercross comes back around next year, but this is for good. The partnership's over, and if I had to guess, I'd think that team owner Brandon Haas is going to go back to being a bit more hands-on with the Supercross program like he was until this year. And this is good news for me because Chad got butthurt at me and tried to stop me from coming to club to do content multiple times over a clip I used of him telling people to turn their cameras off.
One of the tools that we have. All the cameras, turn them off, please. This is
Never worked though. You guys saw how many Clubmx nationals we went to, so it's all good. No more Chad Reed Clubmx partnership, and there have even been some rumors floating around about Chad Reed joining forces with Michael Jordan to start a team. And Jordan does like motorsports. He's got a NASCAR team, but how insane would that be? I'm not really going to hold my breath on that one, but if it does happen, I'll just go ahead and assume now I'm not allowed in their pits. Oh well, I'll live. Then we got a few more MXGP related rumors involving Kai DeWolf and Jeremy Sewer. For several years, we kind of been thinking that DeWolf was going to come to the USA, but now it looks like he's going to stay in Europe, which is a little bit of a bummer for us fans here in the States, but with the Coonans leaving MXGP, that's definitely going to help DeWolf and all the rest of the GP guys whenever that happens. But the real rumors have been regarding Jeremy Sewer. He's currently been fighting for his life like he's in downtown Chicago for a top 20 in MXGP every weekend on the Ducati, and that is not normal for Jeremy Sewer. This is a guy that's won GPs, been a title contender on the 250, and overall he's just shown that he's leaps and bounds better than the guys he's been battling with. But something with the Ducati across the pond hasn't been going super well, and especially not with Sewer. There's not much synergy there, and it seems like even Helen Keller should be able to see the writing on the wall with the whole Sewer versus Ducati partnership. And there have been some rumors surfacing that Jeremy could come to the States and race pro motocross on a Suzuki. I could only assume that would be a Twisted T HEP Suzuki, but those rumors have also kind of quieted down over the last couple of weeks, so maybe he's going to stick it out with Ducati in Euroland. Stop me if you've heard this before, I'm not quite sure, but I do think he'd be a great addition to the 450 Pro Motocross class if he decided to show up. Then we got one of the B-level teams that's on the rise to watch out for next year, and that's going to be the MX6 Kawasaki team. They just started last year on Yamaha, they switched to Kawasaki this year, and they've had guys in the top 10 pretty much every weekend in the 250E series. The team is just throwing money at the sport like none other. They hired Ollie Stoneway from Pro Circuit. I think they bought Justin Barcia's compound, so they got an East Coast and a West Coast base. And as far as Supercross teams go, they're just straight pimps. Rumors are that they got their eyes set on stealing some big names from the factory teams next year, and to do that, it's got to require some buckets of money, but don't worry, they clearly have it, so this is definitely a team to stay tuned to. Any big names that lose their factory deals this year, they could end up at MX6 next year. And then last topic for this video is not necessarily silly season itself, but more of a focus on the riders who could be exiting the silly season talk shortly. The top of our sport is older than it's ever been, but Father Time's undefeated. Eventually that run's got to be coming to an end for some of these guys sooner rather than later. But Tomac, Roczen, Mookie, Barcia, and more are all into their mid-30s already, with several more into their early 30s, so at some point there's got to be a mass exodus here, but all these legends are still hanging in there, and they're making it way harder for the younger guys to get the rides. We've all heard the Tomac retirement talks for years, and I think it's going to be a while before we get an official answer on whether he's racing next year or not. Jason Anderson's been MIA. Who knows what's going on with him right now? I haven't heard any reports of him coming back to racing in the States, or even World Supercross for that matter. But apart from those two, Justin Barcia, Malcolm Stewart, and Ken Roczen, I don't really think any of those guys have shown much indication that they're ready to call it quits. So crazy that they're all still around and crushing it. 34 is the new 24, no choice. And it's still early, but there are all kinds of rumors continuing to get fired up and floating around. We do have confirmation of one more ride, and that is Aiden Kiefer to Phoenix Honda for the Pro Motocross Series this year. But more speculations included things like Hammaker to Honda, although he's supposedly either very close or has already re-signed with Pro Circuit. People are wondering whether McAdoo is going to stick around on Pro Circuit, and if he doesn't, then who knows where he could end up besides on the podium. I haven't heard anything about this, but maybe the boys at Beta could pick up the pieces and get a big name with Rockstar Husky folding. AEO Power Sports with the Husky support is going to be another one to watch, and all in all, I think things are set to get maybe crazier than ever in this year's silly season. Definitely stay tuned to all this, but that's all I got for you guys in today's video. Really appreciate y'all tuning in, and as always, please let me know what you thought of the video in the comments, if you liked it, if you disliked it, if it sucked, if I'm a cooked unit, if you got some info you didn't know about yet, or yeah, anything like that, good, bad, otherwise, throw it my way, you got no choice. But Yeah, thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.